Hi guys, welcome back to Mental Media Corner, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about my love for pro wrestling and especially WWE. So, let's start. So, I'm going to say the first WWE figures I had, I'm going to say it was about 1989-ish, 1998. At the time, it was about Christmas when I had this, so I'll never forget it. I had Kylie Minogue's first annual on cassette, and randomly I had this figure, and I didn't know who he was, but of course later on by the face paint and the tassels, it was the legendary late great Ultimate Warrior. So anyhow, I didn't know who the Ultimate Warrior was until a couple of years later. Then my grandma bought me a VHS for Christmas. WWE Superstars in Action. It had the likes of Hulk Hogan versus Hercules Hernandez, Bowser Payne versus Demolition, Jimmy Superfly Snooker versus Greg the Hammer Valentine, Roddy Piper versus Ravishing Crude, and Ultimate Warrior versus. Then in this show, the reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion Macho Man Randy Savage, and I thought this was cool because at the time I was into I really didn't have any fads, but this was like my only fad. But anyhow, a couple of years later, this prestigious event came over to the United Kingdom. My dad would either get the Sun or the Daily Mirror at the time. As you can see, it's the iconic SummerSlam 92, but originally this was going to be held in Wembley, if I recall rightly. It was in Wembley, but originally it was going to be in Washington. But when this show came along, it changed my life for the good. To the point I'd be like buying WWE figures from John Menzies, W.H. Smith's Woolworths in Dudley. This is like one of the earliest WWE annuals from the year I started to watch pro wrestling, started to get into WWE. So you had the likes of Bret the Hitman Hart, the legendary Hulk Hogan, and the late great Yokozuna. This is how cool they all were. You had the likes of Bret Hart, the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow. And I remember that one of the first WrestleManias I actually watched at the time was WrestleMania 9. I didn't really get into Raw that time, but you had the likes of Tatanka and Rick Model Martel. Like I said, when SummerSlam first came about, Originally was a huge event for us UK wrestling fans. Iconic moments. There you got Roddy Piper. It was actually real life Canadian. His gimmick was he's a Scotsman. He had the Beverly Brothers and natural disasters. And an iconic introduction of The Undertaker. That's very true. They united with the WWF, as it's now known as WWE. So yeah, so I originally would have had the 1993 WWE magazines. So, but these are the modern ones, the 2008. So you had. So in '93 you'd have Lex Luger, the Steiner Brothers, Bret the Hitman Hart, Crush. But anyway, in 1994, you would have had Hulk Hogan would have defected to another company called World Championship Wrestling, so they were stuck for a main event to replace Hulk Hogan. Originally as a villain called the narcissist Lex Luger, but in this picture is the all-American Lex Luger. So his gimmick was he'd raise the flag to the villainous Yokozuna. So I just said about WrestleMania 9, but WrestleMania 10 is one of them pay-per-views you have to see on the WWE network. You'd have brother versus brother. You'd have the first, I think, women's championship at WrestleMania. No, it wasn't part of then in the modern era in 1994 with London Blaze. But Bret the Hitman Hart at the time lost the championship at WrestleMania 9. But he wanted the babyface champ, but you know, stuff like Dunk the Clown, Erwin Arsize to the Taxman, and he's told American Lex Luger. But you'd have like lots of colourful characters like Dunk and Dink, the bad guy Razor Ramon. And again, it just shows how passionate the fans are. Big Union Jack. But like I said, you know, 1993, I never went to any house shows. I remember the Birmingham NIA gig, but I can't remember the exact date. But it was to see then the WWE in the Birmingham NIA. And me and my cousin at the time was into World Championship Wrestling. To a point, and it was on in the afternoon. I'm going to say 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish. Down my granddad's back garden. My late great granddad and grandma. So yeah, me and my cousin would always play fight. He'd always be Razor Ramon and I'd always be the babyface. But at the time, WWE really didn't have any rival. But that was still some merchandise. As you can see, these are like the gold series of trading cards. And it wasn't until about, I'm going to say a couple of years later, 1996-ish, that WWE had had a rival in the likes of the legendary WCW. And for like 83 weeks, WCW was winning the ratings battles against WWE. But WWE had a backup in their Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the People's Champ, The Rock. So eventually WWE won. But it wasn't an easy one. For instance, you had WrestleMania 14, which is a solid pay-per-view. And if it weren't for Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels, who knows what the outcome would have been in the WWE and World Championship Wrestling. But originally, like, WWE would do like big four pay-per-view, so you'd have the likes of Survivor Series, which aired in Thanksgiving Day, 1997. You'd have Royal Rumble, the first pay-per-view proper was 1989, but they did like, they did a one-off in 1998 in Canada. WrestleMania started in 1985. And the first SummerSlam was 1988. But then anyway, after in real life, WWE purchased World Championship Wrestling. So you'd have the likes. It wasn't until John Cena came out with this ruthless, as he calls it, ruthless aggression, that this period came about. WrestleMania 15 with the likes of Vince McMahon versus Immortal Hulk Hogan. Like I said, Bret Hart left WWE in about 1997 because he wanted extra money, and Vince didn't give him the money. So left to go to World Championship Wrestling. You can see some of these matches are like legendary. But who remembers the Stone Cold Steve Austin Bret Hart WrestleMania 13 match? Absolute classic. So basically WWE won the wars against WCW. I didn't have any rivals, but they had like a development, which would develop future WWE wrestlers to the next level in NXT. So it'd have future WWE legends, Seth Rollins, I think that's Neville versus Bo Dallas, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. So it's technically coming up to present day. During the pandemic, WWE couldn't host their WrestleMania. So they had this event called the Thunderdome, which was like fan interaction, but I think it was pre-type fan noise. But originally, WrestleMania was in their performance centre, which is like technically their gym type of place. But 2021, they had the Thunderdome. Pardon me. Yeah, so you had the Thunderdome, and of course, once the pandemic lifted in America, the fans got back to where they did, but where they came from. They'd still have to wear the odd face mask, but they're back to the wrestling. So until recently, WWE have got a bit of a rivalry with AEW, but to be fair, AEW is a B type of company to WWE. WWE will always be number one. But a couple of years ago, that WWE did Funko Pops, as you can see. This is Becky Lynch's attire from Evolution, which is still a history-making pay-per-view for us WWE fans, which is the all-women pay-per-view. That's Becky Lynch. And wrestler, like I said, I grew up watching Bret the Hitman Hart with his like trademark shades. So it wasn't until about 1993 that WWE did a Hall of Fame thing, which are like random wrestlers going like a poll behind the scenes with executives at the time. So recently, 2 years ago now, the legendary The Undertaker fully deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. What can I say? The guy is a legend. See some of these matches you've got. Mankind Hell in a Cell match, which is an absolute brutal match. Got lots of Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, so like I was saying about AEW, you know, they've got to go over to the United Kingdom in a couple of weeks' time, I think. To do one of their big shows. But it wasn't until about 1999 where WWE introduced us to SmackDown, which was WWE's B show to the Raw, which was 1993. But the way WWE going forward, you know, in 2022 Vince McMahon technically retired, and in comes Triple H, who's done an awesome job of creating great matches and memories for us fans. And of course with Triple H on creative, he's recently made Money in the Bank out in the United Kingdom, and shows a lot like that in Clash at the Castle. But yeah, when Vince McMahon sold the company, we all was like, oh no, don't sell the company, Vince. But he didn't. He just sold it not to Saudi Arabia, but to a company like who specialise in UFC. But that's the history of wrestling. That's why I like wrestling. Lots of like colourful characters and wrestlers in historical moments. So yeah, let's give give some legendary shout outs, guys, as well. To the legend on YouTube, See Wrestling. If you like conspiracies or just watching Raw, the guy See Wrestling is an awesome YouTuber. And you've got Wrestling Days as well, who does the odd toy hunt, but that's fun doing it. Searching for WWE wrestlers. And also YouTuber who likes his collecting WWE Blu-rays and DVDs. And Beatdown Bunny. And like the trading cards, the other guy, Tweet Wrestling, loves his trading cards, loves his old school things. And there's also a couple of guys in the Magpie Movies community I definitely know who likes the odd wrestling. Scottish geek guy. Loves to talk about wrestling and superheroes. And also Movie Junction with Becca Lou. Doesn't pick up as many Blu-rays of pro wrestling, but she went to class at the castle and met Liv Morgan and Cardiff and Seth Rollins, and I asked her what they were like. She said they were really cool people, really friendly. So yeah, that's why I love pro wrestling, especially WWE. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment who your favourite wrestlers were growing up, even if they were on World of Sport, which was like Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, Fit Finlay, William Regal, Davey Boy Smith. So yeah, I was like reading all the nice comments, what you guys leave in the chat. So anyhow, please like, share and subscribe to Mansell Media Corner. There'll be some more videos coming up. So yeah, guys, thank you and goodbye for now.